We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is.
Hello. My name is Chelb. My pronouns are they, them, and this is Phasecraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the tarot to get the vibes, to see what is possible, to see what energy is available for the week to come. And we're starting off strong with a new moon in Gemini, like endless possibilities, truly. And I say that a lot, honestly, because it's true. There's endless possibilities always. You can start over any day, anytime, but at least, for today, the astrology is on our side, which we love to see. And also I've got some really fun things coming up. Hey, there's still a week left to enter my raffle that I'm running. I hit 50,000 followers on Instagram last week, and so I'm holding a little raffle. You can enter at $5, $10, or $20 for your ticket entry to either win a 30-minute tarot reading, a 45-minute tarot reading, or a full year of access to my highest Patreon tier. So that's a steal, honestly. So a 30-minute tarot reading is normally $88, and a 45-minute tarot reading is normally $111, and a full year of my highest tier Patreon is over $400. So you are getting a great deal if you win. So that is open. The link to purchase your raffle entries is in the episode description. I'm also going to be on my Patreon running a month-long little challenge. I don't really like the word challenge because it's really low pressure and it's whatever if you don't participate or don't participate in every day. But we're going to be doing a month of magic for June. So if you are subscribed to my Patreon at $3 or more, all you have to do is pay $3. You can come in for 1 month just for the month of magic and then peace out if you want to. But if at $3 and up, we are going to be doing a daily witchcraft inspo situation. I'm going to be putting out written spells. I'm going to be putting out meditations. I'm going to be sharing inspiration and thoughts and ideas. And there's just a lot of opportunity to have discussions with your fellow witches in the comments and interact with people who are going along the journey with you. So I felt like I wanted to do this both for my own practice. I've been feeling like I kind of want to shake things up a little bit. And because in the summertime, for a lot of people, it can kind of feel easy to let things lull and kind of fall out of habits because things tend to be a little more loosey-goosey for folks during the summertime. So for June, it's Pride Month. We're going to be taking pride in our magic by practicing a magical month. So join the Patreon, $3 or more, and you get access to the challenge, which starts on June 1st. If you're already a paid newsletter subscriber on my Substack, I'm trying to figure out a way to kind of include the challenge for you all. Since I don't post on Substack daily by any means, I just might have to do it week by week or something like that. So if you're a paid subscriber on Substack and you're like, but I want to help too, but I'm already paid on a different platform, you're in. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But I think that's all I have to share, other than also my books for personal readings are wide open for June. I've got plenty of time available on my calendar for both one-on-one readings over Zoom or written readings if you'd like something written and emailed to you. I've got lots of space in my calendar for June. So all the links for everything are in this episode description, as always. But Let's get into the reading, shall we? I'm a little winded. I got so excited and just talked forever without breathing, but let's get into it. So if this is your first time with me, we're going to take a few minutes here at the top of the reading just to breathe together, to center, to ground, to do what I call casting a circle, a sitting container, to just make sure we're present and like embodied and in a good space to receive whatever messages want to come through. So if you'd like, you can join me in closing your eyes or just letting your gaze settle down at your cheeks or landing somewhere else out in space. And just take a couple more breaths. Feeling your shoulders rising and falling. Your rib cage expanding and softening. And just become aware of everything that you can feel touching your body. Your clothes, maybe whatever you're sitting on or lying down on, maybe your hair, glasses, accessories. Just allow yourself to become aware of the feeling of things on your physical form for a moment. As proof that you are real and you are here and you are in your body. And let that awareness fall away and instead settle into however you are making contact with the ground, whether it's your feet on the floor, your seat in your chair, your back in a bed. Just allow your weight to settle. Feel yourself being held and supported by gravity, by the earth. And once again, know that you are here, you are real, you are in your body, and it is wonderful. I'm going to call to the spirits and guardians of the elements here. And as I name them, just imagine their essence. Imagine what it feels like or looks like to you, either enveloping you, washing over you, surrounding you with a circle. Allow their presence to be felt. I call to the spirits and guardians of the north of earth, the deepest roots and the tallest trees, the stardust that gave shape to this planet, into our bones. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the east, of air, of wind and breath, of thought and change. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the south, of fire, of the life-giving sun, and the powers of creation and destruction, cleansing and renewal. Hail and welcome. And I call to the spirits and guardians of the west, of water, the oceans and our blood, the rivers and our sweat, the rain and our tears. Hail and welcome. We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. You can take a couple more breaths here. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Incredible. It's a beautiful day outside where I live, and I have this giant tree right outside my window, and so I do have a window open and the birds are chirping, and you might have just heard a very loud car drive by, so I'm sorry if that happened. But my sweet son Angus, he's a cat, is very invested in the birds and the tree outside the window, so just be aware that Angus is here. He's made cameos before, so we'll see if it happens again this time. Okay, let's see what we have with the cards. I'm using the new Cowgirl Tarot by Gentle Thrills, which features delightful images of their dearly departed dog, Cowgirl. And it's beautiful. And it's in the Marseille style, which I really like. But it's just so joyful. And we're starting with the Four of Pentacles. That feels really good. But then followed by Judgment and the Queen of Swords. Okay. Okay. It still feels good. It still feels good to me because we just came out of Saturn in Pisces, right? So if you are, with me in the generation of Saturn in Pisces, congratulations. We made it through our Saturn return. And you probably already feel like a weight's been lifted off your chest a little bit. But having the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Coins pop out right before Judgment and the Queen of Swords. And then we have the Four of Cups. Oh my god. Very much like now we have the stable ground. Now we know what we need. Now we are more aware of our, relationship to resource, to material wealth and material stability. We're more aware of the way that things can change and shift and return so that we have this stable foundation on which to, or from which to jump. You can, if you have stable ground, you can jump higher, right? If you know that you have somewhere to land, if what you are taking off from is solid and clear, you can fly far. Death is also here. I'm just giving you a warning. The Ace and Knight of Swords, the Lover. Okay, the energy here is very good, if you ask me. And the Lover, when Gemini season is here with that new moon in Gemini. Death and the Lover feel very much new moon in Gemini. Whoa. Okay, this feels like we are about at the end. Oh, but then we also did get the moon. Anything else? Something just shifted on my little altar back there, but I don't know what it was. Okay. Yeah. This is it for us for today. So, as I was saying, Four of Pentacles, and we can see Cowgirl right there. Four of Pentacles, Four of Coins, Judgment, Queen of Swords. And literally exactly what I was just saying. Knowing where you stand. Having your solid foundation and your awareness of what life needs to be in order for you to make that jump, that move, that rising, that I just had the word and then I lost it. Alignment. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back to me. But in order to make that leap, right? You need that solid ground. And now you have it. Even if it doesn't feel very solid right now, even if you're like, excuse me, there's a lot up in the air for me. How do you feel about yourself? What do you feel solid in? And how can you use that as your launching pad into what's next, into what you're meant for, following the direction of your knowledge, of your expertise, of boundaries and voice. Now is the time for you to speak clearly, to say what you mean. And know that even if you are misunderstood, you will be understood by the people who matter. Anyone misunderstanding you is not for you. but you are at liberty to sever ties and redirect and be direct as you see fit, because you have this solid ground, because you know where you want to go, and you are standing fully as yourself without apology. In the same kind of scope, in the same vein almost, 4 of Cups. Death. Ace of Swords. Whoa. Ace of Swords. The stability of the material realm also comes with stability of the emotional realm. And because you are so solid in your sense, again, of self and of love and emotional well-being, being in touch with your emotions and being able to feel them safely is, again, that launching pad, that opening for deep transformation. Yes, now that you know yourself, it's time to change again. But the Death card isn't, yes, it's deep, true transformation, but in a way that is composting. It is making something new out of what already was. Your old self is still within you. Your future self is within you. You just have to feel in touch with yourself and aware of yourself enough to start the process of peeling back the layers and opening and finding it. And in doing so, again, the voice, the clear direction, the ideas that you can trust and navigate and follow without worry of losing interest or losing insight become available. Yeah, because this is then followed by the Knight of Swords, by the Lover, by the 3 of Coins. Once this idea, once this piece of motivation, once this spark of knowledge or insight arrives, you take off running. You follow it. You seek it. You don't let anyone steer you away from your truth and your desire and your dreams. The swords don't get enough of acknowledgement of being related to intuition and dreams, but they are. Those things happened in our mind. And the Knight of Swords has a lot more sharpness and clarity to the following of dreams than the Knight of Cups, who usually gets attributed with that action. The Knight of Swords says, I'm going to do this. Watch me. And the Lover and the 3 of Coins are there to support that by reminding you that when you start to feel wobbly, or when you start to feel a little disconnected, or when you do feel like you're maybe losing sight of the goal, all you have to do is point your compass in the direction of your heart. Where is love guiding you? What is sitting right with your soul? That is where you go. That is what you follow. Even if it doesn't look like what anyone else would do, even if it's against the grain, you follow your heart. And you do so with the intention of, we're back to stable foundations, of creating something lasting. You pick up knowledge as you go. You move slowly and intentionally, even though you're doing so with, you move slowly and intentionally, even though you're doing so with speed. And I mean that, but I don't know if that makes sense. Does it? We're moving quickly, but we're also moving slowly because this is a long-term thing. This is something that is meant to exist and meant to come to fruition over time and experimentation and while gaining new knowledge and skills. And yes, sure, every now and again pulling in someone else that has a knowledge or skill, a skill or some knowledge that you don't have, rather than, I don't want to say wasting time, but diverting attention into learning something that ultimately doesn't sit with you, bringing other people into the fold to say, hey, how can you help me with this? And how can I help you in return? How are we aligned? And how can we elevate each other with our unique insights and skills? Because then we have almost all the knights present. The Knight of Cups is the only one that's not here. But we have the Two of Wands, we have the Moon, and we have the Knight of Wands. But I'm going to talk about the Moon as less subconscious, like dreamy, ooh, intuition, ooh, mystery, ooh, and more deep, primal desire. We're back to following your heart. We've uncovered and undone and released the layers of ourself that have been hidden. And again, now we see it. Now we're aware of it. Now we feel it. Now we can listen to it. The transformation has already happened with the Death card. Now we are listening to our deepest selves. We are following the impulses of our lizard brain. Within reason. Within reason. Obviously, the evergreen caveat of like, if you know that's not something you should do for mental health and safety reasons, don't do that. But following the initial choices, first thought, best thought, what feels like it is driving you deep within your soul, deep within your heart. Those are the impulses we follow. Those are the voices we listen to. And then Two of Wands, Knight of Wands. The door is open, so run through it. Maybe take a second to, consider a plan or a semblance of a plan before you run through it. But, I mean, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Just go. You can kind of plan as you move along. You can kind of learn as you go along, but just go. Possibilities are endless right now and always. Yeah. This is a really good week to get clear on where you want to go from here and just go. Just start. Whatever that looks like. If it starts small and builds up, if you just do one thing for 5 minutes every day that keeps you on track of your vision, even if you can't quite start making giant leaps yet, what can you start? What can you follow? Where can you go? And can you maybe move faster than you thought you were able to? Can you move some things around? Can you change your mind? Can you shift a practice, a routine, a habit to support you? Let's look at the bottom of the deck. And it's the Four of Swords. We have a stable material life. We have a stable heart and emotions. And now we have a stable mind. Throughout all of this, prioritize practices that support your thoughts and support your endeavors and your ideas. How can you nourish your mind, your mental space, your creativity, your ways of thinking and being? If that means slowing down, slow down. If that means speeding up, speed up. If that means reading more, if that means reading less, if that means going to a museum, if that means going and listening to a concert, a classical concert. If there's if there is a symphony or an orchestra where you live, see if you can go to that. Or if there's this is going to be weird. If there's a church choir, but old school. I'm thinking Gregorian chants. Listen to some of those. See what they stimulate. Classical music. Old, I mean, coming back to the moon. Old, primal, ancestral. That's what the vibe is. Use that to see what it like stimulates in the brain. Yeah. I'm just saying, I wouldn't have said it if it wasn't important. Okay. That's the message. I like it. Feels really good. Love this deck. So cute. This is my first reading with this deck. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Let's go ahead and close the circle. So you can join me in closing your eyes if it feels safe and good to do so. Take a couple of breaths. Feel yourself enveloped by the energy of the elements. Take a big deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel them slowly fade away, opening the circle and releasing the energy. I release the spirits and guardians of the west, the south, the east, and the north, sending you back to your place in the natural order with praise and with gratitude. I send the energy of all those watching and listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. And take my energy back to myself whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends, though our energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. Incredible. Thank you all so much. I hope to see you on Patreon for the month of magic. I hope to see you in a reading this month. I hope to see you come across my screen for a raffle entry. But I hope you have an incredible rest of your week. Happy new moon. I will see you next time.